So I've put the painting on my lap because I don't want the colours to run down. They are very liquid. So I've put the red in the centre, and then I've put some of the magenta there. And I just want it on the edges of those petals. Not to lose the actual colour of the painting as they blew out. Just very lightly, just bringing it forward. So it's not a very dark layer, but it's enough to just clearly show it's a petal. I think sunflowers would agree with this. And there's a lot of gold in there. To leaves at the top there. like I said, you can never get those colours in with an oil painting or even just acrylic with a brush. So it is something different and interesting. So tell me if you'd like to see me do a large acrylic and then shape it into something. Seeing it, and sometimes I haven't cleaned it, I'll see it, and then I've sat and stared at the ground for a long time, and suddenly I see a little spot appearing. So that's the end of this painting, and I think I'm going to make some adjustments there. I think I'll apply colour, but I'll take a photograph at the end. Thank you for watching, and please do like, comment, and let me know what you think. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in my next video. This is the dried result of the painting, and I like it. I think it has lovely qualities that you wouldn't see in an oil painting, simply because of the different blending of the colours. The only thing I have against this particular design is by adding the lines in during the, and it's also possibly just because it's a rose, but by adding the lines in while it was wet, I then had to go around those lines, and I lost, because the petals are quite small, I lost quite a bit of the natural colours that were inside the petals. There's some showing, there's some, there is still quite a bit, but it seems like the outlines that I put in kind of mask what was naturally there. And then I painted away the rest in white, which I didn't want to see. But I do think it's lovely, and I do think it's an option for doing Dutch paws, acrylic paws, turning them into something more, rather than just having them as Dutch paws. Even though this one was a real blowout. But even if I had made it into little petals, I would have still had to scallop them into something more. Unlike these two, which you can see on the side, the magenta one and the red one, which I left just as I blew them out, and they do look like a blue, they do look like a flower, but do they look exactly like the rose shape here? I don't quite think so, but I mean, still, some people may prefer a rose that looks like this, or a rose that looks like this. So let me know what you think in the comments, which rose of the 3 roses you prefer, and which kind of, which use of the acrylic paws you would like to see me doing more of. So thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.